so in this one, we are going to be doing my end of June part 2 of the Dragon Ball Legends 10th anniversary top 10 tier list. Technically here, top 11, because I cannot differentiate these two at the bottom, but it'll be interesting. I will say, thankfully, confidently, that these two new LFs had made a significant impact, and you will see them at the top tiers. I'm just going to say it now. Both are actually strong, and thank God. Thank God, now there's not another Evo happening. We don't need that. We didn't need that. It's great. Evo should get a buff. He isn't, but he should. Hopefully in 6 months he gets a plat. He becomes great. I'm just grateful that these units are good enough. But I'll just get into it here. If there are units within a slash tier, for me that does mean they're interchangeable, so you could have one over the other. But I would keep it as what I have it. And if there's a dash between them, then I can't really differentiate these two, so they're tied together, where if you put them one above or one another, I'm with you on that 100% of the way through. So this slash tier here, I do have Mini Goku as well as Majin Buu. Yes, I know a lot of people are happy, just really riveting over the idea that Majin Buu is so far down, and trust me, I am with you on that. But I still think he is top 10. I know there's reds here. You can see there's 3 reds on this list, which is a very far shift from like less than 3 weeks ago. There was not this many reds on this list, less than 2 weeks ago even. But now with that, Majin Buu has to take a little back step, and Daima is not the best team in the game. I will continue to say this. It's been like this for a little bit of time now, even since part 1. There has not been one singular best team. Sure, there's been really good teams with HIT, MUI, and whatever third, right? There's been MUI, Kill Caulifla, and UMV, or Godku, UMV, and MUI, and like those are really good teams. There's been still Daima within those teams. There's now the teams that the new Goku and Vegeta can run, but there's no objective one best team. But there is the fact that Daima is not the top tier dog because there is no best team. So with that being the case, though they have all this flex together, the Daima team of Mini Buu, Daima 4Ku, and Majin Buu, there is some hurtfulness going around within it. You have the insane burst damage now of Kaioken Goku that could just murder Ku very quickly. You have Time Skip that could very easily snipe somebody out on Daima, and the whole point of Daima would be, hey, I want to live, right? I want to keep swapping and supporting, keep living and supporting, but they're not really too bulky of characters. They just more sustain rather than actually bulk hits, like take hits. So you have those things just coexisting more and more in this game, where Daima units do have to fall down to a decent degree, and Majin Buu is one of those victims to that, which I think is a very good choice to choose, because Daima 4Ku is not inherently the most toxic thing ever. Mini Buu is really strong, but he's not like this, I'm broken as hell with gimmicks. I just have really good manipulation of timers. So it is nice to see Majin Buu, the toxic one of the 3, comparably to all 3, just dwindle down and, still make top 10. That's why he's here, because I really can't take him off the list. I don't think that's correct, but he is barely hanging on to this list. So praise be to whoever decided, yes, we need red units to be strong, Ultra Hit, Plat, Kaioken, and then, maybe even Cell returns soon enough for a lot of people to own him yet again, because Cell did obviously gain a lot of stock within Vegeta, but we'll talk about that later. So Daima, Kid Ku, as well as Ku in the 10A to 10B. Daima Kid Ku, because he's still very strong. I think there are greens that are better than him that'll do a better job in their survivability aspects and more of a just everythingness, which I'll explain when we get to them. But this unit is genuinely, I know it might sound funny because there is blues on this list, but this is the counter to Kaioken Goku. You even might say, better than MUI? Yes. If you remember Beast Gohan, Ultra Beast, who unfortunately does not make this list for me. I don't think he's really top 10 for most people at this point. Just not really the time for him with these reds being as dominant as they are, and the teams he's on being a little bit worse than even Daima. But that guy had a card cost upping debuff and then a 50% proc that would destroy everything, right? Well, Daima Kid Ku could ignore that fully, basically, right? He would have his immune to card destruction effect that could be active via the main, pop the green card, and then he could just keep drawing cards and be immune to key disruption and the card cost increasing, and that exact thing he can do to Kaioken. So Kaioken disrupts with the gauge pop. He could ignore that disrupt because, again, it's to destroy cards, reduce key. He could ignore both of those. So if you were to get Daima Kid Ku, and I'm going to do a video on him probably today, honestly, if not tomorrow. Yeah, Daima Kid Ku to catch Saiyan Saga Goku there, and you do those spam strikes because they're locked in for the subchem manipulation. You do those 3 strikes, you are killing him most likely. If not a strike into a blue, this guy bursts so hard it's going to be insane, especially if you get it in before Kaioken. You have obviously the lower stats to deal with there. That alone makes him crazy value because Kaioken is very top tier on this list. But even more so than that, there's versatility within Diamond Kid between like any Diamond unit. He has the most versatility of any of them just because he can have easy double Zenkai buff. You run OG3 Ku himself, and you run like God Ku, and you run like a mono green. You want to run Ultra Hit Lead with Mini Ku and God Ku or Rev UI? I mean, who's stopping you, right? There's versatility within this Mini Ku. He has his own equipment supporting for himself as well because he just is one of those Goku characters that gets that ability. So his versatility is much more out there and great than the likes of Majin Ku and units that would be below him. You know, the Super Saiyan 3 Gokus, I've heard talks of the Legends Fest one. I've heard talks of, not too much. I've heard talks of Gohan Trunks being pretty useful right now, but nothing crazy. Not top 10, but just, you know, talks of them there. But I think these are the ones that make it. Even Shallot does have a debate to be top 10. I think that is there, but I'm not fully sold on it. Maybe I could be, but for now I'm not. Hey, maybe part 3 buffs him. Who knows? We really don't know. But that is my 10A through 10B. Again, those lower tiers are always going to be kind of the difficult ones. All the way up to number 7 really does get a little bit like, a little hazy. And matter of fact, number 9 through 8, I'm actually going to put them together because, well, I'll put them separate. But like, they interchange together. It's just that I like this placement better than the other. But number 9 will be Legends Limited God Goku. You can't see Rev UIs right there, and spoiler, he's going to be number 8. This is all going to be objective. Like, I'm just telling you right now, number 8 and number 9 is all objectivity. You cannot be, or rather subjectivity. My bad. There's no objectivity here. You can't be objective with this because it is up to your matchmaking at that point. Why I have it be Rev UI is above Godku instead of Godku above Rev UI is because when I run into matches, there's a lot of times there's going to be an Ultra Cell or an Ultra Hit or just a snipe potential character that makes my Godku a little bit more useless in a match, right? Again, I'm going to tell you there's also matches where Godku is definitely going to be outshining in like, again, a Godku UMV MUI match. Well, Godku's probably going to carry that, right? Rev UI could carry it, but it's definitely more difficult for Rev UI than it is for Godku. But if there is a match, which I am finding a decent bit this season and last season, especially last season, this is why I had him above last season as well, because hits was so common last season at the last week of it. If you have a match where there is a Rev UI and let's say there's a hit or cell, you are much more safe than if you had a Godku in that match, right? Obviously for hits, you could time skip and he doesn't even do the ultimate, then you do the strikes and the blast and you kill Godku on that time skip, okay, you die. But if Rev UI's there, Rev UI is going to live. But in the same turn, let's say it's a match without those two that are in the match, though they are very top tier, those two red units on this list, then you could also debate, okay, Godku's better. So it really just becomes a subjective argument of who is above who. Again, I understand Godku is better individually, but this game isn't just about individuality, right? If these units are like equal teams, then it's like, okay, what happens then? Then you compare the sustainability mechanics, the damaging mechanics, all of them culminated together to value who you would find above the other. Again, I'm sure you might say Godku's better. I'm sure you might also say, well, I'm running into Ultra Hit a decent bit. I fought him a lot last season. He's been giving me trouble. My Godku kind of just dies, and it's just a keel over fest. And, you know, I don't have any safety at that point. Well, then you might say Rev UI's above. So, these two, their talking points become the same thing. Again, individually, Godku is better. But thing is, you don't need Godku as much as you might would have in different metas. Let's say there was purples running around, right? Because there really isn't. I mean, Evo's not top 10 here. Oh no, woe was me. What are you going to do? But Godku's neutral does not really become an asset. It's not a disadvantage, but it's not really an asset that you're looking for, right? I mean, you don't care if you have the neutral because there's no purple on this list. So that's even more credit toward Rev UI because he has low neutral, at least comparatively to Godku, so you don't really even need to put that as a factor. Like, that's a good factor for Godku if purples were in this meta. But since there is any, there can't be, because there isn't any, you don't have to factor it, and that's one of Godku's strongest talking points. I mean, the AoE green stuff, again, third time I'll say it, individually, Godku is better. I'm with you. But there's just a point that it has to arrive where if I fight this character more, I'm going to value this guy more. That's just where it is for me. I also 100% agree with the statement that Vegeta does outright replace Rev UI. Vegeta is much higher on this list than both of these two greens. So there's no debate between all those three. Vegeta's not anywhere close to these two, so let's not put that in the air because that's just not a reality check. But Yeah, no, these two, it's just a subjective spot. You can't, I feel like there's no way to be objective about this. If your Q is with sell and hit, guess what? You're going to value every UI. If your Q is without them, at least not as common as maybe some other people's, like, again, I run into him so often, then you're going to value Dooogote. I mean, that's just how it's going to go. There's nothing else really to put into that. I mean, I explained the details of it, but there's nothing more I could say but that. So that's where those two go. I think that spot is, I don't know if it's controversial. They're right next to each other. I feel like people would still have them right next to each other, but I feel like most would say Dooogote above. If I run into this Ultra Cell guy, man, I am, even with Rev UI, I'm nervous, but I'm a lot less nervous with Rev UI, right? Like, that's just where it goes for me. But let me take a swig here of coffee real quick. A lot of yap in this video, don't worry. And let's get to number 7, with it being, I know, hold your applause, UMV. Finally dipping. Now, Ultra Hit dropped, and I didn't have him too low because Ultra Hit, yes, does obviously have a situation to make him mincemeat, and that is accurate, but still had MUI around him. It wasn't another perfect green that was running around. I mean, there's good greens, wasn't like a perfect green. But now, I mean, you can still run UMV. Again, Dooogote and MUI, people are still running that. I've already fought it a lot this season, but it's a lot easier to deal with. The likes of Kaioken exist, but I'll touch on those units, that are hurting him more later on when I get to them. UMV, though, can still do his job. I don't want to get this misconstrued here. UMV does a green card when he has his gauge. Okay, you run like Purple Weeze bench, whatever. Yajirobe bench with UMV leader on Saiyan Saga with both these two new LFs. Ambulance, love you over there. And then you run, get the green cards, and you do that right there. You do a strike, you do an ultimate, you can kill Kaioken, you can kill hits, you can kill 2 of the 3 reds very easily. Cell you can't kill because he has cancel buff effects, so you're not going to kill him, but you can kill some of these reds, so that's there. But bro, they just turned them off, they turned them back on, these sirens. What are they doing? They don't know where they're going. But I guess you could say, the commonality of that happening, where you're going to end up killing a red unit with UMV, is not that strong. Again, you still have MUI as a partner, because obviously you can run them together. But now you look at these greens on this list, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. The only way for MUI to get neutral, at least in an offense setting, or even defense, is very rare, because it's... How do you even get defense neutral? Isn't it like blue card, right? That's it. And then the only way he gets offense neutral is 15 counts on second main ability, so it is a bit of a spot for... no, I think MUI is 5 counts defense neutral and entry. Something like that. I don't fucking know. But the point is, MUI is not taking care of these green units like, let's say, Dooogote could take care of purples, right? Like, it's a lot more difficult for that to happen. Not saying it's impossible. It's definitely possible, but it's much more difficult for that to happen. So while that is dwindling down that kind of duo ship there, because we have very strong greens, very strong reds, that makes sense that the blue and yellows are going to dwindle, at least in their cohesiveness. You don't have to run UMV with MUI. MUI has better teams than UMV, but that has to hurt UMV. Obviously, Cell being able to just like 2-card him, you get your gauge, 2 blasts, that gauge is popped already. Okay, move on, goodbye, see ya. Hits, time skip, boom, see ya. Goku does a strike, he 50% procs him, he does another strike, he pops his endurance, maybe 2 more, and then you do a blue card and kill him. That's 4 cards. Vegeta can die to Goku. Again, Vegeta has ways to kind of circumvent automatically being, their food and also hurting them back, but it's nothing perfect. I mean, it's barely keeping him within the top 10. If his green card didn't exist as the way it is, Vegeta would not be top 10. Even with his gauge, he still wouldn't be top 10 here. Like, there's just nothing for him without that. But because that green card does exist, and you could make it happen pretty frequently within, again, I just named the team here with UMV. Later slot this guy and Saiyan Saga, no one's going to stop you, right? You get UMV to do a good work there. So he does have to dip a little bit and get kind of gypped of his top tier spots, but I mean, top 7, this character is, Jesus fucking Christ, 9 months old? Is he 9 months? Holy shit. Oh my god. Yeah, it's pretty good for 9 months old, top 7, and it's not difficult for him to go back up. We might get, I don't know what we're going to get for part 3, this is just kind of thrown out there, but they like this premise. They haven't done it consistently, but they like the premise of every color gets buffed during a celebration / anniversary, right? So we got a red premium unit, green premium unit, blue premium unit, pearl premium unit. It might be a yellow ultra, right? Which would suck. We've had so many yellow ultras recently, but maybe that could help UMV. Maybe, because he would be able to get glazed within that yellow ultra. Maybe it's a Saiyan, and it could help him to get double Zenkai buff much easier. He has a good partner than yellow, yellow, blue. I don't know what's going to happen there, but for now, this man's at 7, and this isn't a high placement for him, but I feel, though, you could... actually... No, I wouldn't say you could put him lower, but I would say people might put him lower. I don't think you can, but I could say that people most likely will be putting him a little bit lower than this, which, fair play to you. I just don't think the individuality of those units below him is any better than him. I mean, no way, Jose. And all their teams are more or less shared, except Ku, which Ku has less teams, so he can't be better, right? Obviously. But we continue on, and this one got me confused, but here it is. Number 5 and 6 are a shared tier here, so again, if it's a dash, that means I can have it where you swap them, and yeah, sure, I can agree with you, but I don't know how to differentiate these two. Like, Daima, obviously, is a pretty good team still, and it has its quirks and its goodness, but then Hit's team isn't perfect, is my dilemma, really, because Hit's team is going to be alongside MUI, great, but that third is just not something ideal. Again, there's sometimes RevUI, there's sometimes Godfu, I already discussed that, sometimes Killing Caulifla, right? There's just no perfect third for Hit's team, and that's what really trips me up here, because Daima has a perfect trio, and that trio can still be effective, and it can still destroy teams and destroy everything, especially with its gimmicks and quirks, and its anti to some of the units of the top tier. But then you also have Hit being so good individually. Like, everyone on this list, every single unit besides one, being Vegeta, is legitimate hit food. Even Daima 4Ku, you drop combo time skip, that's it. You do the strike, you do the ultimate, boom, you kill him, right? Like, you do that with LF Kid Ku, you do it with Daima 4Ku. You drop combo time skip, kill him. You're gonna kill him. You strike, ultimate, boom, it's gonna kill him on time skip. Everyone's hit food besides one unit on this list. But Hit doesn't have a perfect team, so it's like, yes, I'm going to keep Hit of one above because the goodness of what he can do and everything, because he is just more of an impressive character than Daima 4Ku, but then I factor the team of Daima, how good it can be, compared to Hit's not perfected team. It's just a weird hazy spot. Yeah, obviously you know what Hit can do. He can make everybody look like silly putty on this list and destroy everybody. It's like, oh yeah, RevUI exists, but RevUI and Vegeta both can't exist it, and I guess that does kind of have an argument against it at that point, but I mean, I don't know. Hit is just a worse Cell to me, because Cell has better teams. Cell has a real functional perfect team at this point, and then Hit just doesn't have a great third. But then I also can understand why Hit would be above, because Hit is doing a circumstance where he just destroys everything. His team can still destroy everything. It's just not a perfect team is the only issue with it. Like, if Hit fights a Cell or Hit fights a Hit, it is just a time skip merchant match. Like, whoever time skips first probably wins. Or most likely wins. Probably 100% wins. Or if Cell's in a match, well, guess what? I mean, even if you have RevUI on the team, you're not really going to tank much. If, let's say, you have MUI on the team as well. Well, for one, they'll have Vegeta. They might even have RevUI as well, so that's double greens. And then Cell can just 2-card a MUI, because you do a blast card, you get your pop main ability, you do an ultimate right there, MUI is dead. You have to play for that. Or then you lose Hit, because you already lost your RevUI because of time skip from the other hits. And it's like, what are you going to do, man? Like, there's just no perfect Hits team, so I can't put him, like, a full thing above Daima 4Ku, because Daima 4Ku's team is perfect for itself. It's not the best, but it's still very good. So it just, I don't know how to flip these two, like, to be one over the other. I just can't do it. It's just not for me right now. Maybe something happens that I can make it where one's above the other, and I'm sure that will happen eventually. Again, we might just get Yellow Ultra, and then it gets more value, right? And Daima 4Ku's, you know, not losing value, but not obviously gaining value within that. Sure, but for now, I don't know, man. I can't really, I can't change this interchangeable for me. I wish I could, but again, Hit not having a perfect third, even if RevUI is top 8 for me here, that's not perfect. It's a 1-5-8. That's not really the most ideal thing in the entire game, right? I mean, it's solid, but even then, it's just, if you just run into a Cell, like, and even then, I don't even know if, not every match Hit's going to be able to do his full effectiveness. I know it's going to be very common, but not every match. A lot of matches are going to be up to MUI, and then how is MUI going to clutch against all these greens? Like, it's just a tough time for him at that point if you don't have any defensive stuff around you, because you have no defense utility with Hit MUI and RevUI. You really have none. You have the hopeful card cost upping of MUI, only in MUI, by the way, which you wouldn't even have early game because you want to build up your Omen Goku. Like, you see the issues with the team there? There's just gaps within it that doesn't make it where I could put hit above. Daima doesn't have those gaps, but then the individuality of some of these units is not as strong. So, like, I got to keep this where it is. And I'm only referring to Daima for Forku because that is the only team that I can put him and justify him up here. There's no other team for it. And it only is this trio of, 6, 10A/10B there. 6, 10, 11, technically. So that's where that's going to go. Maybe someone can convince me to put hit above. Maybe someone can convince me to put Daima Forku above. But for now, I am stuck. I've never been more stuck on characters I didn't think I'd be stuck on, but I am stuck here. But before we get into the top 4, which you can see both new units are waiting to put up there, which is great for them. A little more coffee. We shall go into it with Mr. number 4, and that is going to be Vegeta for me. Oh, thank you, Legends. Holy shit. Top 4 Vegeta. I appreciate it. Some people are having him higher, and I'm just like, let's calm down a little bit there. I mean, I can't have him any higher. This isn't Glaze. It's not Glaze. But this is like the highest you could have him for me. If you have him higher, I think you're just kind of kidding yourself at that point. Because there's a little bit too much going on with that Glaze. I've seen a lot of Glaze in these new units, though. But again, we'll discuss it here. With it being Vegeta having a great team. I'll go more into the details of the Cell team once we get into talks of Cell. But just generally, Vegeta does have even stats you can build on a Strike team. I've done it before. You want to run Mono Green, feel free to run that. You want to run UMV, this Vegeta, and Kaioken, feel free to run that. You want to run this Vegeta, Ultra UI, or rather MUI, and Hit, feel free to do that with Hit leader slot there. You can do a multitude of teams, so that's also valued in its own stock of the team comprehension. And then Vegeta's individuality is pretty nice. I will say I do have a gripe with him, or it is a pretty strong gripe, and I don't think people are really even talking about it. Vegeta only disrupts when you get his gauge. So first match, right, you get comboed, and then you pop that main ability disrupt, you seal their main 5 counts, you reduce their ki by 30, and you destroy 2 cards. The way to get that disrupt back, he does not have it again until you fulfill his gauge. You fill his gauge again. And that isn't really great. I mean, that's pretty bad, quite frankly. I feel like, again, no one's talking about it. Because you just lose disrupt because I'm not being able to use this unit. If I'm just getting destroyed the entire match and my sub counts aren't ideal for Vegeta to come back in, like, there's nothing I can do about that, right? There's some matches you're just going to see Vegeta enter and then nothing happens. You're like, oh, what's happening over here? But that's like the only big flaw of Vegeta. His coloring, I mean, doesn't need to exist as a green because we have already greens, but like, I'm fine with his coloring at this point. It helps Cell. Cell already got help from RevUI, but sure, why not give him double help? Fuck it, why not? And another gripe that's like just coexistent. Again, it's not too terrible gripe. More that covered, what's it called? The disrupt is a gripe, but this is more just like a which might get amended, might not. Zenkai buffs for both these new units are horrid. I mean, Goku has Kakarot, so he's lucky, but this Vegeta, bro, it's fucking terrible. It's just fucking atrocious. But besides that, he has everything going for him. He has great damage in pre-revival. He has great damage in post-revival. He has a, unfortunately, long animation green card, while Goku has a fast animation green card in their, post-transformation states. But I think he just does his role well. He's not meant to be that main damage dealer, though he can do very good damage. It's just that you compare him to Cell's damage, and it's like, okay, Cell's still the guy on this team, but Vegeta's definitely not a slouch. Like, let's say RevUI is a slouch on damage, right? Compared to Vegeta. I don't know, let's give RevUI like a 6 out of 10 on damage, and we give Vegeta like a 8.5. And then Cell's like a 9.5, you know what I mean? Like, that's the gaps that are going on there within the damage settings of like those 3 characters, because those 3 do obviously want to work together. And that probably is Vegeta's best team, alongside RevUI and Cell. I don't think much changes there. You have a lot of safety, so you're not even scared of hits. You're not scared of Cell even at that point. I mean, yeah, you get some maybe bad timer counts and lose your Cell fast, but I mean, that's just don't let that happen. You have double revives, bro. If you lose your Cell early game, that's on you. Like, that is that is a tough one to deal with. But he has great teams, great diversity, great overallness. Again, there is some dilemmas with him, which I agree with, because units should have flaws, but limiting a disrupt to like a gauge fulfillment is just, you know what I mean? Like, that's just like like that's a tough one to swallow at that point. It's a tough pill to swallow for Vegeta there. But He has a lot of greatness. He should age well. He is a revival unit after all, so I do expect good things. Why is my... Hold on. Why does my camera just auto... I look like a ghost right now. Excuse me. Why it's got a sheen on me here? I literally am shining. Okay, well, Vegeta has greatness. Let's get to number 3. I need to, I guess, reset. My shine is gone, so that's great. I don't know what that was about. But number 3 is going to be Mr. Kaioken times 3 Goku. Yes, I do have him below Cell. I've heard top 1 talks to him. I'm just like... I understand a discussion for top tier, but I am not on that board yet. I mean, maybe, again, we need to get better Zenkai buffs for these 2 characters. They have horrid ones. Goku doesn't have a full Zenkai buff that works on a team. Like, realistically, you're not going to put Red Super Saiyan 3, FSK, or OG Super Saiyan Goku. You're going to put Kakarot, and a lot of you guys don't even own Kakarot. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a tough time for that. As well as, Goku does a very good job in his damage. This unit has... I mean, oh, okay, now the ring light just wants to die. Hi, how are you? It's a great ending of the video here, at least going to the end. But Goku does have great stuff, obviously, with his very high damage inflicted. I've heard it goes to like 600% or something like that, which is obviously very crazy. It's just that there's times where Goku can become food. Like I already mentioned, Mini-Ku can just outright destroy this character. Hit time skip exists. Cell can just do an ultimate. So there's characters that can just murder him, right? That exists in this game. But then he's also destroying a lot of characters. He's one of those, I can just destroy everything or be destroyed quickly kind of guys. Now in Kaioken, he's a bit bulky. I have him where he has a bulk setting. I even have him built on a bulk setting. He definitely can bulk. But if he's going to bulk the best moves in the game, I have not seen that yet. I've seen him bulk other Kaioken Gokus, but I'm talking like a Cell Ultimate with 1-card combo comp, a time skip. I mean, I haven't even got time skip with this character yet. I need to run a hit to see how he does against Kaioken, but I would assume a Kaioken is not living a time skip, especially when you time it to a degree where he definitely cannot live a time skip. Whether it be, you know, low health or just with the gauge not able to be procced, something akin to that. He's very good. His damage is very strong. I know it sounds like I'm downplaying him a lot by saying he can get victimized by these characters, but a lot of you... Dude, most of this list is victimized by those units. Like, that's the whole reason that these units are high tier. Why Hit is so high tier, because he can victimize almost every character on this list. Like, that is just the objective nature of how it is with these units. But his teams are very good, so he has to be higher than some of these guys. Vegeta... See, this is where it comes with Vegeta. Because I even heard Vegeta better discussions. Vegeta might have an equivalent team with Cell and Rev UI. That's fair. That's a fair argument. But then you look at, again, if they have equivalent teams, like MUI, Godku, Kaioken here, or Rev UI instead if you want the safety, whatever. They're about equivalent teams, right? Just about. About on the same board, right? Then you look at it as, okay, then individually, who's doing their job better? Vegeta's doing his safety job very well, but Kaioken can just incinerate and dominate a match probably better than Vegeta does his safety. So I have to give Kaioken the edge there. I think most people are saying Kaioken's better, but again, I have heard talk of Vegeta's better. Vegeta's top 2. I don't think either's top 2. I just don't think they're in the perfect spot for themselves. Again, that Zenkai buff thing really does dwindle it. Vegeta has a little bit more flaws than Goku. What do you know? It's kind of the Vegeta thing that happens. But, yeah, no. I mean, I like his damage. I like what he can do. There is the also big discussion, which I'll talk more on when we get to the highest tier here. But certain blue unit can just really slapstick this unit, and there's not much you can do about it. And that really does hurt this character, because that certain blue unit is one of the best units in the game, which we will talk about in about a few minutes here. But number 2 is Ultra Cell, and number 1 is MUI. Ultra Cell, again, he gets a great partnership within Vegeta, so he has to move up for me. And Cell being able to, I mean, just destroy everything really that coexists in this game is why he's above Kakarot. Again, I have to look at individuality when I look at the teams, and they're similar enough. So Cell teams to Kaioken, again, similar enough. It's going to be 2, 4, 8 for Cell there. And then for Goku here, it's going to be 1, 3, 9. So literally just a trade-off of teams, right? Similar numbers, very close. And technically, it is going to be in the favor of Cell at that point. But even more so than that, I mean, Cell can just make everyone nothing. Cell is just the character to do that. I know people not running into Cell as often might seem like it's a little jaded, where it's like, oh, Cell's above Kaioken, but I don't really fight Cell. Yeah, I mean, Cell hasn't returned. If Cell does return, look how many Ultra hits you were fighting the week before this season, right? The last week. The last 7 days before this season. You were fighting Ultra hit a lot, I bet, huh? Yeah, he was a big problem, yeah? Yeah. Yes, he was. And now, Cell, if you own Cell, me here, Cell makes everything nothing, really. I mean, Gaku's in a match, okay, 3-card him. UMV's in a match, okay, 2-card him. Kaioken's in a match, okay, do a blast into ultimate there. Oh, MUI's in a match, do a blast into ultimate there. Like, no one's got cancel buff effect. Cell's just free to reign through. I mean, the only contention would be Daima Furuku, but then, okay, here's my 2 green allies. You know what I mean? Like, okay, there's blues, but here's my 2 green allies. So how the hell does Cell die at that point? I just ran it. Where was these 3 together of the team I just named? And I couldn't lose my characters. They weren't dying. I mean, sure, I'm going to revive maybe 1 or twice, but by the end of the match, I have everybody alive, and their whole team's dead. And majority of it, I would give it like, 60, 10, 30, right? That's what I give it on the discrepancy scale. Cell 60% of the time carrying, Vegeta doing 30% of the work, and Rev UI doing 10%. That's what that is. And that's how easy it is. Cell doesn't even need great, perfect units, because Rev UI is far from perfect, even Vegeta. But because he even has those partners, he doesn't even care. He just gets to do his job because he has safety within himself. So, Cell's got to be above Kaioken for me. And then we talk about Mr. Number 1 of MUI Goku. For one, again, the thing of MUI to Kaioken, it's simple to me. MUI enters, he is 5 counts immune to that funny little solar flare, right? So there's that. So let's say you do a solar flare with Goku, you want to extend your combo, get cover and all, you want to get neutral because you know MUI is going to come out soon enough, and MUI is the most common unit in the game right now. They swap into him, and then you get destroyed because they are spam clicking cards because they are immune to your flash. And even if you are defense neutral, because you are neutral at that point, right? Even if it does not fully work, but it at least activates you, you get the neutral. MUI's just high stats. Let's say they don't have their gauge even close to fill. You a strike blue. With MUI, there's a very likely circumstance you could just kill. And even then, MUI trying to lose to a Kaioken, let's say it's like a 1v1, because Kaioken is kind of meant to, at least in a pretty sizable degree, be like a clutch character. How in the hell does MUI... It's like Godku versus Daima Furuku. How the fuck is Daima Furuku last man standing going to beat a Godku? That's really not that possible, right? Because it's cancel buff effects. You're really just waiting for that free combo to happen, and then they're dead. How the fuck does Kaioken times 3 Goku beat MUI? And the only reason that debate comes up is because that's a thing you're going to have to do because MUI is so common. They're going to keep him last. You're going to keep your Kaioken Goku last because most likely your Godku died, your MUI died from, whatever happened. This UMV sniped out your Godku. They popped your endurance, they sniped them out. Oh no. But then you killed the UMV with your Kaioken. Great, awesome. You did an amazing job. But then their Godku killed your UMV or something like that. And it comes down to 1v1. A lot of people are going to keep their Kaioken alive. And a lot of people are going to keep their MUI alive. I don't know how a Kaioken wins that. Like, yes, get the green card, get a perfect time green card. Do you know the likeliness, and again, I try to be objective with these, how likely it is for someone to draw green, to perfectly time that green against a unit that has double vanish with their main ability, as well as disadvantage the entire time they're going to be out because you can't land that green? It's near impossible for a Kaioken to ever clutch up against an MUI. Just like a Daima Furuku clutching up against a Godku was near impossible, so Godku had a lot more stock when Daima was running around, at least at its prime pinnacle as the best team. So it's that same argument. Doesn't make Kaioken that bad, but it definitely doesn't help him raise the bar. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying Cell is the clutch king against MUI. No. But that's the thing. You're going to run double greens with Cell. With Kakarot. With Kaioken, you're going to run him with most likely 1 green, maybe a blue, maybe a yellow, whatever. But you're not going to run him with double green. So Cell having not as good of a matchup as well, definitely both don't have good matchups, but I think Cell could be argued a better matchup technically, especially if you could time the gauge. You're still going to run Cell with double greens. You're not running this Goku with double greens. No one is. There's no need to for a lot of time. So I feel, though, that MUI kind of makes Kaioken kicked the bucket a little bit on that. I mean, again, there's not too many flaws within Kaioken, but the fact that he can't really get his idealized setting of like, I want a neutral, I want to beat everybody down against MUI specifically, I feel like just has to dwindle him to a little bit degree where he is not above Cell, and Cell just having a better time against MUI, who is number one, just makes more sense to me. Again, if this unit has double greens on his team, this unit does not, who has a better time in the matchup? Most likely the guy with double greens, and then Cell can make a lot of his units, even MUI himself, very easily into the silly putty. What are you going to do? Cell does a blast, pop main, gets his neutral, ults. What are you going to do? You're going to swap out of your MUI and go to Godku or UMV. Then they're going to fucking die. Then Cell's still neutral. They're going to come back in, you do one card landed, boom, Cell kills another character. Boom, it's a 3v1. What the fuck do you do? Kaioken can't do that. That effectiveness that Cell can create, that's so fast and so seamless, that's not a Kaioken trait. He could definitely get there, but how fast Cell does it, Kaioken is not doing that same par of that discussion at that point. So, this is my top 11, technically. Top 10 tier list of the end of June here. I mean, I guess it could update. You never know what's going to happen at reset this week. People are saying Nap Vegeta buff, Ape Vegeta Plat, Super Vegeta I've heard. Super Vegeta Zenkai because he's somewhere boosted in something, a co-op or something. So I don't know, but this is my top 10 list. I think the discussionable parts definitely going to be 8 and 9, which, again, always those lower tiers are going to be discussionable because it's like your perspective of PvP is this or that and the other, and then you change this for that, whatever. But 8 through 9, I think people would discuss more. 5, 6, I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe people would discuss it. I don't know. But I think 2, 3, people would be like, I'm putting Kaioken above. And fair to you, but this is where I personally place them, with MUI being number 1, LFMUI being number 1, Ultra Cell being number 2, Kaioken times 3 Goku being number 3, number 4 being LF Saiyan Saga Vegeta, number 5/6 being Ultra Hit and Super Saiyan 4 LF Diamond Goku, number 7 being Ultra Majin Vegeta, number 8 being LF Rev UI Goku, number 9 being LF God Goku, and number 10A/10B being Mini Ku, free-to-play character, by the way, and Majin Ku there. Let me know what you guys think of my top 10 list, and I'll see you guys in the next one.